Hi everyone, welcome to Excel Basics 101 by West Academy. So in today's session, we will be touching down on a few basics related to Microsoft Excel with regard to functions and a few other options that can be done with Microsoft Excel. Without further ado, let me move on to the presentation. So let me first start by explaining why Excel, what is the importance of Excel and how Excel can help us. So as someone who is in an accounting field, my life pretty much revolves around Excel. Even if someone asked me to organize a project or even a party, I would use an Excel sheet for that. So having said that, let's take a look at what are the uses of Excel. So like this slide clearly mentions, you can use Excel for calculations, maintaining databases, task planning, analyzing data, and organizing information. Apart from this, you can also use Excel sheets for many other users, but these are just a few of the main users that people like me or even you can use Excel for. So if you take an Excel file, if you open your Excel file, you will see squares like this. The squares downwards, they will be named as 1, 2, 3, 4 in numbers. And towards your right, which is horizontal, they'll be named as A, B, C, D, E, F. And here you will see something which is a combination of a letter and a number. So this will be called your cell reference. So how it works is downwards there are 1,048,576 rows on your Excel sheet, and horizontally there are 16,384 columns on your Excel sheet. So the cell reference shown here is a combination of your column and your row. So here, as you can see, this cell that I have, my active cell is in column E, row 13. So it says E13 here. So let me now move on to the basic functions. So as you probably already know, you can carry out any basic mathematical functions through an Excel file. So here we have addition, deduction, multiplication, and division. But when it comes to the basic functions, as you probably already know, you can carry out your addition, deduction, multiplication, division, and also many other basic functions using an Excel file. So I will show you all how it's done, but let me also explain the next functions that I am going to explain. So there are also a few other basic spreadsheet functions which you can use very easily for your basic mathematical processors. So as you can see, there is a function called sum. Now sum, as the word speaks for itself, you can use it to add up a certain set of numbers. And then there is a function called average, which you can, as again the word speaks for itself, you can use it to add up a certain, you can use it to average out a certain set of numbers. And this count function can be used to identify how many cells are active or how many cells contain information. So as you can see, any of your functions, any function, not only this, must start with an equal sign. Once you start with an equal sign and you give in the command of your sum, then within brackets, it will be your references will be there. Now what comes within brackets will change with the function that you're using, but this equals mark must be there in any function or any kind of mathematical operation that you are carrying out in your Excel sheet. So let me show. What I have here is a set of numbers. It's more like a set of expenses that have been incurred on a project. I believe it's something like an installation ceremony. And here I have the expense incurred in 2018 and the expense incurred in 2019. So here I want the total of each of these two numbers. So how do I do that? Like I said, you need to have your equal sign. You need to select this number. You need to select your plus mark and then this cell and enter. Similarly, you can do the same thing with these two numbers. So I want 2019 minus 2018. So here I select my equal sign. I select the cell which I want first, which is 2019. And then I select the deduction mark. And then I select my 2018. And then I get that. Now, if I want, I can manually add in both of these for all the cells. But there is no requirement for me to do that. I can simply use this square here. So when I come to this square, there is a small plus mark which comes. I need to click that and drag and drop it. So then it will populate the rest of the cells as well. Similarly, I can do this here, or else I can simply copy and paste this here. So once I copy and paste, as you can see, you can look at it in my cell reference. As you can see, it changes with the row that you are pasting it on. So your cell reference, it changes. You can either drag and drop it, or you can copy and paste it, and it will give out the same output. So now here I want the total for each of these columns. Now, if I want the total for these columns, I can use that sum function which I spoke about. So in the sum function, how do I do it? I put in my equals mark. I say sum. And then I open bracket and select this range. And then I have the total of all of this. I can either drag it this way, or else I can copy this and paste it this way. If you are looking for my looking at my formula bar here, you can see that the cell reference is changing once I do that. So the same thing with average. I need to say equals average, open bracket, and then I need to select this range of cells, close bracket, and enter. And then I have my average here. Paste it here, and then it will change. Then I need to get the count. I need to see how many expense items have been incurred here. So I select equals count. And I select the rest. Close bracket. And then it tells me there are 9 items. Now, if I delete one of this, it will change to 8. Because it all has 9 rows. It all have 9 rows. So that is about it with regard to your sum, average, and count functions. The next function that we will be looking at is concatenation. Now, concatenation, if you look at this word in a dictionary, it will tell you that it means to combine something. So similarly, this concatenate function can help you combine a set of data which are there in multiple cells. Let's take a look at how it works. So when you are using the concatenate function, you can use it to combine these the house number, the street names, and the city into one cell. Now here I have a few addresses, but they have been broken down into separate cells. But when I want to combine it as one text, I can use the concatenate function. So to do this, I need to select concatenate. Now when I type in CON, I will get a list of suggestions. from which I should select concatenate. If you want, you can type it in manually, but I suggest that you select it in from the drop down in case there will be any spelling errors when it comes to the word, because it's somewhat of a long word. So in order to combine this, I need to select the particular cell. I need to enter a comma, and I need to select the rest of the cells. But the twist here is, if you are just selecting these cells, you will get it all together in one. So as you can see here, it's not how exactly an address needs to be shown. In an address, you need, after this 201, you might want to have a comma and a space. And then again, after this street, you might want to have a comma and a space. And maybe at the end, you might want to have a full stop. So to do that, you need to enter those, again, separated by commas within quotes. So how you can do that is, I will type in concatenate. So my first text needs to be this. And after that, I will put in quotes, and I will say comma and a space. And then close my quotes. So that will give me a comma and a space after this 201. After that, I need to use that comma to separate my text, which is not within quotes. And thereafter, I need to select this. Again, since I need a comma and a space after it, I will within quotes enter a comma and a space and close the quotes. So keep in mind that these quotes need to be there in order for it to be a text. If not, your function will think that you are entering this comma as part of the function itself. So make sure that you enter in your quotes, and hold on. Make sure you enter in your quotes and put in the text that you need to be shown. So again, I separate it by a comma. I select this. Again, separate that by a comma. Then within quotes, I need to show a comma. So don't confuse yourself between the comma which is not outside quotes and within quotes. Whatever is within quotes is going to be shown in my output. Whatever is not within quotes, it's part of the function itself. So now I select this the city finally, and since I need to show a full stop at the end, within quotes I put a full stop. Enter, and then I have my address really nicely shown here. So similarly, like I said, you don't need to enter it manually for everything. You can just copy paste it for the rest, and it will do the same for the rest. So the next function, or this is not really a function that you enter, but it's another option that you can use for your data processing on your Excel. It's called text to column. Text to column does the opposite of concatenation. What it does is it separates items which are shown together. So in your address, if you had your address in one place and you wanted to separate the different elements of your address into separate cells, you can use this text to column. So before I move to my Excel sheet, I will also explain about if function. So if function is an interesting function. You can give commands to your Excel sheet and say if a certain condition is met, this is what you need to do. If it's not met, this is what you need to do. Now in your if function, if you can see, there is an equal mark if, and then here there is a condition. I am telling if whatever that is in this cell D3 is more than 500, I need to show if. If not, I need to show M. So let me show you how it's done. So here I have a few NIC numbers. So before we go on to the Excel part of it, just for your information, in an NIC number or in an old NIC number in Sri Lanka, your first 2 digits of the NIC number is your birth year, and the next 3 digits is your date of birth. Now, the next 3 digits, your date of birth, say you were born on January 1st. For a male, it will be 001. For a female, they will add 500 to it and say 501. So that is how you decode your NIC number. So in this case, this person of the who holds his NIC, he was born in 95, and he was born. So I know it's a he because this is less than 500. So, and he was born on the 68th day of the year. So it's really easy. So what I want to do is, now I want to break down this number with the year of birth in this column, and then the next 3 digits, which is the birthday. So 068, likewise, those 3 digits into this column and the rest of it into this column. So for that, I can use the text to column function. So in order to do that, it's quite simple. You need to just select this. And you need to go to data. Sorry, my bad. You need to go to data. You need to select text to columns from here. So in text to columns, there are 2 types of text to column. One is called delimited. The other one is called fixed width. Delimited is where, like in your address, there is a comma, and you can define, say, whatever that is separated by a comma, break it down into the separate cells. But in this case, there is no defining item which separates it, but we know that it's definitely the first 2 digits that need to go into your first column. And then you need to, you know that definitely it's the next 3 digits that need to go into your next column. So likewise, you need to break this down into like based on a fixed width. So since I'm breaking it down using that option, I will select fixed width here, and then I will go to next. Now here I need to define, how I need to break down my information. So to do that, after my second digit, I will click here, then a line will appear breaking down everything after that. So similarly, I will do the same for the next 3 digits. So after my 3rd digit, I will add in a line here, and then I will go to next. I need to select my destination here. So by destination, I want my first set of data here. So basically, whatever the broken down data, I need it to start from this particular cell here. So because of that, I select this as the destination. If I don't select that, and if I just keep it like this, then your 95 will come here, your 068 will come here. But that's not what I want, so I select this. And now I click finish. And now your data has been broken down into different parts. So now I want to find the gender of this particular person. So like I said, if these 3 digits are above 500, it's a female. If it's below 500, it's a male. So for this, I use the if function, and I will say equals if. I open bracket. So my logical test is to see if the number is above 500 or below 500. So for this, I select this this particular cell, and then I will say if this is above 500. Now this is my logical test to see if the content is above 500, and then I will enter comma. Now it wants me to ask what should I do if it is above 500. What should I do? So then I will say within quotes. So like I mentioned, if you want something to be displayed like a text, you must always show it within quotes. So within quotes, you need to say if. So if it is above 500, you need to show if. And if not, so again, it's asking me, okay, if it is above 500, I will do this. What if it's not? So that's the value it false. So then within inverted commas, I will say male. So you need to show this if it is not above 500. Then I will close my inverted commas, sorry, my brackets, and then okay, my bad. And then it's telling me that this particular person is a male. So similarly, I can copy and paste this to the rest of my data. So for whatever above 500, it has shown me saying that it's a female. So now I want the birthday of this person. So for this, what I'm going to do is if I want, I can simply take this, and I have already predefined the format of this cell. So here, if I go to my home tab, it says date. So that's because I have already selected it and asked it to display it as a date. So I can simply go and select this. But for the female ones who have 500 added to their birthday, it's going to be a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in an if function and tell it if it is above 500, minus the 500 from that. If it is not, just show it just like that. Now show this. It's simple, just like the before one. I need to say if, and as my logical test, I need to say if this is above 500, then what should I do? I need to deduct the 500 from this. So then my value, if true, is this 500. And if it is not, just show it just like that. So, and then I'm going to close my bracket. So I will select for the rest of it. So now I have the birthdays of each and every person. For the next part of this activity, let's take a look at the next function that we are going to look at. You need to get this. You need to select the set of data that you want. You need to go to data here, and you need to select text to columns. So when you go to text to columns, you will get a window like a pop-up coming up on your Excel file. So here it will give you two options saying delimited and fixed width. So delimited is like when you're in your address there is a comma, and you know that there is a particular delimiter which separates the data that you want in the separate cells. Fixed width is when there is no such delimiter, but like your NIC number, you know that your first two digits must come into your first column. So it's a defined number of characters. So that's when you can use your fixed width. Now in this case, you can use fixed width. Yeah, since there is no other character separating your data. So I select fixed width here. I select next. Now in this, when you select next, you will get your data, and you need to select, like you need to define how it's going to break your data. Now here I need the first two digits first. So after my first two digits, I will click here, and then a line will come in showing that your first two digits are broken. Then after my next three digits, I need another line here. So I will click here, then it will get separated. Then now I select next. Then in my destination, I need to define where I need my data to come in. Now, if I kept this as my destination, then my 95 will come into this particular column. So instead, I will select this. Now, what I'm doing by this is I'm defining saying my data which is broken down need to be shown starting from this particular cell. So now I click finish. Now, since it's already there, I will it's asking me if I want to replace it, so I'm selecting OK. So that so now it will show me the broken down items. Moving on to the next function that we are looking at, it's called VLOOKUP. Now, VLOOKUP is something which is very useful for people who are dealing with big sets of data. So sometimes you can't really go in and manually check everything. So VLOOKUP really helps you find information from a really big table. So in VLOOKUP, it's if you look at this function here, it might look confusing to you. So let me go back to my Excel file and show you how you can carry out a VLOOKUP function. So here, now I have a list of people. I need to get their addresses. Now how I need to get their addresses is I have a huge list of addresses here. If I want, I can manually look for them one by one, but is it something that I really want to spend my time on? That's a no, right? So I can simply use VLOOKUP function and go to this database and ask the computer to look for these addresses for me. Instead of me looking for it manually, I can ask Excel to do it for me. So how do I do it? I need to select equals VLOOKUP. Now it says lookup value. Now in your VLOOKUP, before you carry out a VLOOKUP, there are a few things that you must remember. There must first thing is there must always be a unique number. Now in this case, as you can see, we have NIC number, and even in this list, it's the NIC number which is there. Now we know that the NIC number will not repeat for multiple people. So because of that, I will keep my NIC number as my unique value. Right. So the other thing is you're looking a lookup table. Like if you are trying to look up from a table, say with 5 columns, you must try to always keep your NIC number as your first column in that. So say your NIC number is there in the column D. You need to bring it and paste it into column A. Because since it's VLOOKUP, it will always look up vertically from this particular number. So in your table, that unique number should be always the first column. By table, I mean the table that you're looking up from, not the table that you need to get the data into. In this table, if you in this table, if you have the data, the unique number even in the first column or in the second or third, it doesn't really matter. So here I will select equals. I will say VLOOKUP. Then my lookup value is that unique number, which is my NIC number. Then I need to select a comma or enter a comma. Then my table array is the table which I am looking up from. Now I need to select this entire table. So I selected it. When I do that, there is something which I need to do. I need to select F4, or in some computers it goes as FN and F4. So when I do that, a few dollar marks will come in. I will tell you all why I need to do this after I finish my VLOOKUP function. So basically you need to make sure that you select F4, and then you need to select a column, and then your column index number is in your table that you're looking up from, which is this table. You need your data from the second column, because say now this is a big table from with like, okay, the NIC number, the name, the phone number, the address, and everything. We look the Excel is Excel doesn't know what we are asking it to look for, whether it's the name or the NIC number, sorry, or the phone number, or if it's the address or what. So then that's why I need to show the column index number. Now the column index number in this case it's 2 because there is 1 and then there is 2. But say if this was somewhere in column E, then you need to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then I need to say 5. So your column index number is basically always the column number in which your which the data that you want to display is shown. So in this case, it's the second column of my table. So I will select 2. Okay. So in this case, since the address is in my second column, I will select 2. When I do that, it asks me whether I want an approximate match or an exact match. Now, when I use this, I always try to use exact match because when I use approximate match, sometimes it might go wrong. Now, exact match is when if I want to match this number exactly as it is. So, I mean, in most cases now an NIC number, it can't change from person to person, right? I mean, if it is an NIC number, it should be the exact same thing. So then I will select false, which is my exact match. I will close bracket. I always recommend everyone to use exact match whenever possible because when you use approximate match, there are very high chances of it going wrong. So then I will do the same thing for all of this and it will find me the respective addresses of these people. Now, the reason why I selected F4 and made sure these dollar marks appeared here is due to something called lock cells. Now, in lock cells, what happens is even if you copy and paste something, it will not change. So when I copied this and pasted it here, this lookup value, it changed, right? The lookup value from when it was on this cell, it was B3. When it was on this cell, when it's on this cell, it's B4. So in order to stop doing that is why I lock these cells. So when I lock these cells, that table range which I have selected, it does not change when I copy paste it. Whereas if I had not frozen it or if I had not locked it, when I copy paste this, even my table array will change. Whereas it's the same table that we want Excel to look from. So because of that, we need to lock the cells of our table array in order to make sure that your VLOOKUP function doesn't go wrong. So the final area that we will be looking at is called pivot tables. Now, pivot tables can be used to arrange a large set of data. You can use it to classify your data. Now, again, this is also not a function. It's something that it's an option given by Excel to use to sort of classify our data, to summarize our data in an orderly way. So let's take a look at pivot tables. Here I have a list of expenses which have been shown in just randomly. There is no particular order there. So I need to arrange this in an orderly manner. So in order to do this, you will use pivot tables. So for this, I need to go to my insert tab. I need to select pivot table and then I will get this pop-up. When I get this pop-up, it's asking me to select a table or range, which I have already done. So then it's asking me where do you want the pivot table to be placed. So if it's in a new worksheet, so I will keep it as a new worksheet so that so what it will do is it will open a new tab here. So then I will select OK. And then I will just get something like this. Now a new worksheet has been opened. I will just get something like this with tab at the right hand corner of my Excel file. So here now it's asking me to choose my fields. Now here I have the expense, I have the project, I have the amount. Now what I need is I need the total of the amounts by project, right? So I am going to just select project here. So automatically it came to rows. If it didn't come to rows, if I want it in columns, I can drag and drop it to columns. But here I want it in rows. So I'm going to keep it under rows. And then I select amount. And then under values, it came as sum of amounts. Now, if it didn't come as sum, sometimes it might come as count. So I need to select, I need to click on this. I need to go to value field settings and I need to select what I need, whether it's count, average, mean, max, sum. So sum is what I want in this case. So I will select OK. So here I have got a summary of all the expenses I have incurred by project. So here it's just giving me a total. Now, if I want to change this, if I want to get, say, I don't want the amounts by project, I want the amounts by particular expense. So if I want to see, okay, the say the average amount I have spent on decorations per each project. So then I need to go here. I need to select sum of amounts. I need to go to value field settings and select average and then okay. So here it shows me that for each project, on average, I have spent this amount of money on decoration, this amount of money on furniture hiring, and likewise. So your pivot table can help you organize your data, in an orderly manner, and it will help you analyze your data, and it will also help you summarize your data. So that is it with regard to pivot tables. So that is all that we will be looking at in our session today. So if you have any questions, you can always speak to me. You can call me. Sorry, you can drop me a text and you can send me an email with your questions and I will speak to you.